streaming. Okay. So I'll share some interesting development from last week. Not particularly related to this class, but since you're in this class, I'm assuming that you're also considering getting a job or employment opportunity or something along that line, or not. Well, or not. You're moving to Pittsburgh. Wow. Oh, okay. Okay. Do they have any specialties? Like, are they particularly good at something? Yeah, like AI or data science or. Yeah. Okay. Well, I would Google search and look at or go to their website and check out, what kind of research they do. Like, because usually they would have a page for all the professors, and each professor has a kind of like a bio, like, a few paragraphs. So you can see what kind of research they do, and, is it does it compare to a CSU or does it compare to a UC, or is it a private? Okay, well, you can check it out. I mean, to enter, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations, you got it. Oh, you have not. Okay. Okay, I see. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Mm. Okay. Well, we do offer assembly language here if you want to. I see. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting turn of events, huh? All right. So I do want to kind of mention something that I learned last week, which I think is actually kind of interesting. I was in a meeting or lunch meeting with some people from the California Department of Technology. Okay, interesting. No, no, California Department of Technology, not college. Um, yeah. So anyway, they talked about how mainframes they're running out of people who have expertise in running the IBM mainframes. Well, actually, this is the interesting part. IBM is actually big in the cloud as well, except they're closed. So they're not like Google or Amazon, where okay, I want to spin up a server and do something, right? Nope, they're kind of more closed and they're service oriented. So they're not just giving you the virtual machine, but they're also administering everything else. I mean, it's more like a solution provider rather than a product provider. But the state is running out of people who can maintain their existing legacy code, and they do have attempts to move from IBM mainframe assembly language programs to modern programming languages like JavaScript or Java. So apparently they're trying to partner with ARC so that we can help train their employees to become mainframe or their enterprise computing certified. So apparently there are a lot of job opportunities. Yeah, and I just dug up an email from like 2 months ago. One of my students was working at the DMV and sent me an email about oh, if you know how to program in IBM assembly language, there are lots of consulting opportunities. So so the student was asking me personally, do I want to participate? I mean, I don't have time to do it, but there's money in it. So that's one thing to look into. Oh, that's good money. And if you become a state worker, that's, the money is not really, in the terms of a monthly paycheck. They're not really that competitive when it comes to the monthly paycheck, but the pension is the killer part. So is exactly. So a lot of money that you make, as a state worker, is not actually on your paycheck as a number, but it is, all the fringe benefits that you also get. So I just want to kind of bring it to your attention because mainframe computing to most people is like, oh man, that's archaic, right? Even really old styles kind of stuff because they still deal with assembly language, using the 360 architecture, and also JCL, job control language, which by today's standard is like, man, that is old, okay? Because they have been using that for what, 3 or 4 decades already, at least. But it is still in demand because they have a lot of retirements and they can look into the age of their employees and they know ahead of time that there will be like a surge of exodus from the state, all over too. We're not just talking about the Department of Technology. We're also talking about the Franchise Tax Board, the Board of Equalization, a lot of the big time mainframe users of the state. They'll be running out of people. I mean, literally, they'll be running out of qualified people who can help maintain their mainframe computers. So, I know it's counterintuitive because everybody wants to get into the cloud, want to learn JavaScript, want to learn the greatest, like AI stuff, pattern recognition, neural nets and whatnot. But they're forgetting that there are still a lot of jobs, because the state really is trying to bring their system up to date, because IBM mainframes are interesting. Hmm? Well, once you're employed by the state, you are employed by the state. You're employed by the state. They will find a job for you, and I suspect that you'll stay busy too, because all those systems still need to be maintained. So it's not really just the transition part that needs a lot of effort, but once it is transitioned, now they really are on the platform where you can go in and make more frequent changes. So the thing about IBM is they maintain backward compatibility all the way back. So so you can run the same code as they did in the 70s, and there's a migration path to things that they just released. So so that's the interesting part about IBM is they are a service provider and they maintain backward compatibility to make sure that things can still run, even though your code was written like 50 years ago, 40, okay. So I just want to kind of mention that because the ARC is actively trying to work with the Department of Technology, the Franchise Tax Board, and possibly a few other departments to have both apprenticeship programs, where we have cohorts, like you basically join a cohort, and the cohort will basically go through semesters as a group of students. So it's not like you just take classes and pick the ones that you want. Once you sign up, you have to kind of go in a particular sequence, and but the point is, by the time this is all done, because we'll also be partnering with IBM, and IBM provides all of the training material and certification exams and whatnot. So when you're, yeah, it's a great opportunity to basically get your foot in a door, with the state. And I also found that they have positions where they do not need a bachelor's degree working for the state, which is great because that means with a certain type of certification, you may be able to work for the state as an employee, not for a whole lot of money, but at least you will be able to pay for your tuitions, if you want to pursue your bachelor's degree at the same time. So I think that's also kind of really interesting. I think it's good for our students. So anyway, just little things that I learned last Thursday, in a meeting with some people from the state. So what we'll do today is we are pretty much done with GPS. So remember that the key to use GPS is to make sure that we include that that event handler. Okay, that was the key to trigger the app to request for GPS service. Without that, it doesn't trigger that request and GPS does not work. So what we'll do today is look into media stuff like camera, video camera, and the microphone for voice recording, and also how we share stuff, okay? How it interfaces with the sharing capability in Android. So with that said, we're going to go to App Inventor and do some stuff. All right. So let's go to a new project, okay? And we'll just call the project Media. All right, so as the name implies, we're just dealing with media stuff. So we're going to scroll down to the Media tab and figure out what kind of stuff we can do with media. So some of these are pretty simple, okay? So I'm going to pick out the ones that are simple, and because we may not want to talk about those too much. We talked about text-to-speech already. We talked about speech recognizer already. So those two we have already worked on already, okay, using some examples. And for those, if you forget what we did with those, I think the last part was a max headroom, because we were integrating that with the proximity sensor, so I was able to do this and have the max headroom effect. Okay, so those were done. So we're gonna play with the camcorder today, which is a video recorder ability. Hey, this is MIT, okay? Maybe 35 now.
Maybe 35.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
These days, people.
Maybe nobody under the age of 20.
Yeah.
My daughter wouldn't recognize that.
No. But even the camera, even this icon for a camera, most people do not recognize that anymore.
Color, it has shading, sort of did it.
No, but because most people don't know what this is anymore. If you ask someone under the age of 14 and say, okay, help me take a picture, and then you lay down devices on the table, they would go like, yep, cell phone, got it. And go like, why don't you pick that camera? What is that?
I used to have disposable cameras running around the house 20 years ago. I should see if they can still get. I don't even know if I can get them developed, but my kids.
You probably can, as long as it has not been exposed to light. It should still be good. Yep. So we'll pick these two. Okay. Image picker is really just selecting a picture. Player just has a window so they can play whatever media you want to play. These two we have done already. Video player is kind of related to player, but it plays only videos. And I have no idea what is Yandex Translate. I have a suspicion yeah, that's my suspicion. All right, so we'll pick on this one, and you first take a look at the descriptions. So a camcorder is a component to record a video using the device's camcorder. That is very helpful. That is very helpful as a description. But it's basically just using the camera of your phone to record a video. After the video is recorded, the name of the file containing the clip is available as an argument to the after recording event. The file name can be used, for example, to set the source property of video player component. So what it does is it will capture a file. Okay, you click it, and it will have a button to say when to stop. When it stops, then it will basically save the content of whatever you just recorded into a file. And then the event, I think it's after recording. Yep. So the after recording event will give you the name of the file. The file is stored locally on your phone, okay, in the same folder where all of the files are stored within this app here. So it should be out of the view of other apps, should be fairly secure, okay? Unless your phone is rooted, then it's hard to say. Then you can do whatever you want with that file. Okay, you can use the video player to play the file, which is kind of cool. But you can also upload it to some place. You can also share that with other people. Okay, so that's why I kind of bundle the media content with the sharing part, because what are you going to do once you have that recording done, right? Okay, so it doesn't really do a whole lot. It has got one event called after recording. It tells you what is the name of the clip, which is just a file name, and it also has a method called record video. So not a whole lot of really cool stuff, but we're going to play with it. Okay, so we'll drag and drop a camcorder, and you can see that a camcorder is not even a visible component. It is an invisible component. So I am personally curious about, does it give us a preview, or does it give it does it show what is being recorded? Okay, so we'll drag a button to trigger the event, and then we go to blocks, go to the button, and say, okay, this is the problem with a smaller screen. You have to scroll many times to get things done. And then go to recorder. You might be right. Let me try Control 0. You're right. Okay, so we are now back to the default zoom. Okay, so this will start the recorder, which means this is what we call an asynchronous call. After this, you can continue with other things as the recorder is active, okay? Even though it might not make any sense to do anything else, while your recorder is recording. Then we can go to camcorder 1 again, and this time we use after recording, and it will give us the name of the clip, okay? Now this is where things can get out of hand, because you might be storing a lot of clips, to chew up the storage on your phone. So unless you kind of keep track of the clips, because they're not going to be saved in the video or camera, the photo, the directory, they're going to be inside the folder, I think, of the camcorder of this particular app itself. So we'll find out where it's going to save it. And we can now go back to designer, and we'll have the player, so that this way we can check it and see if it plays. So we have a video recorder, and that one does have a window, a certain size, and then we'll have here to basically start playing the video once it is recorded. So we'll go to video player 1 and set the property to right, thank you, to whatever this clip is, and that will just do the configuration. It won't even play it, so we have to go back to start, and that will start the video player. Okay, so I'm not even going to bother with the other events. The video player has got two events. One is completed. So if you want to block out things until the video player is completed, you can capture this event. In other words, once you start playing, you can gray out everything until it's done. This one basically just reports an error, and the message is the error message. So I'm not going to bother with getting those two into this program. And let me start my phone first. So we got media done. Oops, wrong window. But I need the command line. And of course I can't see. Okay, let me get rid of this stuff first. Minimize this. The idea is I need to get rid of as many tabs as I possibly can, so that I can at least see the command line tab that I was trying to get to. There we go. I'm using a very small portion of the actual screen. So, all right. So let's see. Um, this is under Android SDK platform tools, and I'll use the other one to show the screen. Okay. Oh, great. It's updating my apps. Okay. So now we have ADB install-r media. Okay. Okay. So it's already installed. And all right. So we got media. Yes, I think I know that. It'd be kind of cool if they can find out that I'm already in this classroom. Yeah, do not disturb, right? It's installing a lot of apps. It's updating stuff. Okay, allow media to take pictures and record video. Allow. All right, so, okay. So the preview actually does work. Okay, I'm gonna show the other stuff here, and then we'll stop. Oh, this is actually not, now it's recording. There we go. So you guys are safe. I didn't record you. Okay, and then we'll have the phone to record itself. Woo! Okay.
So he would just record until it runs out of space, essentially.
Okay, so we're gonna say click. Yep.
There's nothing to stop it except you, right?
Yep. Okay, now it's supposed to be playing it. There we go.
And that's because you stopped it.
Yep.
The event is on. It's got audio too.
Yep, it got the audio too. Exactly. So that was pretty easy. And once again, trust me, if you were to do this using Android SDK in Java and using all the proper classes, it's not easy.
Just to record video with built-in camera?
It's not. Yep. The overlay, it turns out to be a beast to deal with. If you want to, do any type of augmented reality thing, and we are not even talking about augmented reality where you actually have to recognize the distance to objects, okay? We are only talking about, okay, let's put a level, on a camera, okay? So you're using the tilt sensor, you can tell whether the picture is tilted or not. Just doing that took like 2 or 3 classes in in cisp363 because it takes a lot of different concepts, to get that part done. Yeah. But this was easy, right? Pretty painless. I would say it's pretty painless. Okay, so we can now take. So the file is stored locally. Oh, this is the other thing I was about to try. Was to find out where the picture was stored. Okay, where's my? Did I lose that? Might have lost it. Yep. That broke. Okay. It's okay. All right. So the next thing I want to do is to find out where the file was stored. Okay. Was it stored within the app's own folder, or was it stored somewhere else? So I'm going to go back to the gallery app. Oh. Okay. My USB cable is loose. There we go. I might have a different cable. Well, we can try that one later. Okay, so we want to go to gallery. Let's see, do we have gallery here? Nope. Okay, maybe it's on this second row from the bottom. Oh, okay, there we go. Yep, it's actually saved here. Okay, so that makes it easy to swipe up. That makes it easy to kind of delete the content if I need to. Video enhancer. Okay, stop bothering me. Yep. All right. The connected device is unable to access data on this. There we go. All right, so that's actually pretty cool. The cool part is, it is actually in the photo directory, which means, you can delete it, easily because it's not stored in the app specific folder. Okay, so that's good. Do we have any questions about this particular app? Quick and easy, right? You just record a video, it saves to a file. So if you do want to keep track of the files that you have saved within your app, the only way you can do it is to use a TinyDB, or one of the many ways to do it is to use a TinyDB, so you can keep track of a list of videos that you have recorded. Now, that it doesn't mean that someone cannot go to gallery and delete a file. Then your app wouldn't be able to find it, even though it has it recorded in its own TinyDB. So you just have to be careful with that sort of thing and just go like, okay, this is according to what I remember, okay, but somebody could have deleted the file. Because what you're storing in TinyDB is really just a file name. It's like, okay, I remember that I saved the file, but somebody else could have gone to the gallery and deleted that file. So now your TinyDB is no longer consistent with the actual files being saved. So are we doing okay so far with that concept? Okay. So if you do want to, but this also raised a little bit of a concern because, this means that other apps that can also access the media folder can also see the video, which means, the security part of this is now kind of iffy. All right. So we'll go back to Designer, and now we'll ask the question, what can I do with this video? In other words, how do I share that with my buddies, right? So here is sharing, and we'll read the documentation first. So sharing is a little bit more involved because it hooks up to the sharing ability of Android itself. This is not something that is specific to App Inventor. So sharing is a non-visible component that enables sharing files and or messages between your apps and other apps installed on the device. The components will display a list of installed apps that can handle the information provided. So that part is the same as all of your other apps. So if you go to a browser and you like a page and you want to share that with other people, you can just kind of click on the share menu item, and then it will ask you, do you want to share by SMS text? Do you want to share by email? If you have other social media stuff installed, it will list those as options as well. Okay. For instance, so it says right here, email, social networking, texting, and so on. The file path can be taken directly from other components, such as a camera or the image picker, but can also be specified directly to read from storage. Be aware that different devices treat storage differently. So you need to kind of try it out to find out where to locate your stuff. So anything that is specific to your app needs to have one of these two paths. So you have to either specify the URL type of the URL, which is file : / or you specify the root folder, storage, App Inventor, asset, whatever the GIF file. But the video file that we just saved is not going to be under this path. So now the question is, how do we access it? So we'll get to that later. So we have certain methods. It has no events, which means you do not have any capability of, it doesn't raise any events. You can share a file, okay? So share a file through any capable applications installed on phone by displaying a list of the available apps. So this is good for sharing any file. You can share a video file, you can share a text file, you can share an image file, you can share audio file. Okay, as long as you know where the file is, you can share a file. The next one is share file with message. So it attaches a message along with the file, but it will only show you the available apps that allows people to do that. And then the last one is just a message. So the last one is just a text message that you can share that you want to share with other people. So something simple or a JSON representation of something that is kind of important. Okay, so there's no limitation of what the text has to be. It can be something that's just readable to a human, but it can also be a JSON encoded object, so it can actually send something complex to another quote unquote person, but it's actually intercepted by another app, so it can actually do things that are that can be interesting. So are we good so far with this? Good? Okay. So what we'll do now is we go back to the app and we say, okay, I want to share stuff now. So I'm going to drag the sharing component into here. And you can see that sharing does not even have properties to play with. So it's a pretty simple component. You actually have to tell it what to do. And then we'll drag a, okay. So I'm going to make this look a little bit nicer by using a horizontal arrangement here. So we can put several buttons onto the same row. That's basically all I want to do. There we go. So the first button is going to be the button for taking a video. And then the second button is for sharing. Share. There we go. So now we switch back to the blocks, intercept the second call. Now we also have to have a way to store the file name of the, after we capture the video. So, just for simplicity, I'm just going to put it into a global variable. Okay, not really the best way to do it, but for simplicity, this is okay. Okay, so I'll just call it clip name, and it is initialized to an empty string. There we go. Now it's an empty string. So at the end of this, instead of starting to play the video, we can go ahead and store the name. So we'll set clip name to whatever the clip is. Okay. There we go. Now we have to intercept the second button, the click event of the second button, and say, okay, I want to share now. Okay. So we go to sharing, and then we have only these methods to choose from. So we're going to share this file, and then the file name is going to be clip name, like so. All right. So we'll give it a try. So go back to build, go to save APK. You missed our earlier discussion of how the state is really trying to recruit and train people to work on their mainframe computers.
Get out of there.
Yeah, I met with some people from the Department of Technology,
Yeah.
the Franchise Tax Board, and so on. They're very interested in partnering with Los Rios as a whole, as a region, to train people to work on their mainframe.
Funny. Oh, thank you for that information. Wow.
So you can go back and be a consultant.
Oh. Wow. Imagine the computer can't make it do it by itself. Huh? It needs people. Wow.
All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. Take a video. Once again, I'm not gonna point the camera at you guys. And it doesn't start recording right away. You have to click the red. Oh, you guys can't see it. You have to click the little red dot to start recording. Okay, so we'll record some pretty non-personal things. The floor, the ceiling, the whiteboard.
What about the picture? There notice food. Yeah.
And then we can record itself too. Okay, we always like that effect.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you have it appearing on your screen?
Yep. So now we can click share. Okay, so it says, okay, error 2001. It's too fast, but it's okay. I got everything recorded, right? Let's do it again. Could not be found on your device. Okay. So it's supposed to be under media, and it's not found. Okay.
Well, are you?
Hmm?
You're just getting the clip name, right?
Right.
You're not getting the whole file directory.
That is interesting. Let's go back to the gallery and see what details we can get out of this. Okay, so these are the details. So it is stored, the path is actually not just media, it is internal storage DCIM, I think it's digital camera image. All digital cameras, put a folder like that into an SD card and slash camera. And then the file name is this long name here. It's based on the date and the time of the recording. So when I used the app, it gave me basically the wrong name. So what we can do is to hard code this into this app and see if that works. Okay. All right. So we get back here, and then this time we're going to get rid of this little block here, and we'll just go ahead and type the name. Type the whole path, which is internal storage. I'm not sure whether it can deal with space or not, but I know it's going to be case sensitive because it's Linux. DCIM camera.
Did you put an underscore or space?
Hmm?
For
Oh,
internal storage.
the name. No, internal storage. That's a space. You have to keep it a space. We can escape it. 0401.
I don't know, but was there a space in the path? I think it was an underscore. No.
Okay, you can't see it because it's a space.
Oh, it's a space. Okay.
Yeah, that part is a space.
I saw the underscore right underneath it and I was mixing the two.
Okay, that's okay. No problem.
Make sure you're doing it right.
Yep. Okay. Uh-oh, you didn't take it. Oh, okay.
Can you move that video to another area where,
Not easily.
so you can't rename it like you can a file, like you can
I can rename the file, but I can't easily move it around to another folder.
No, I meant rename it so it's a short name.
Oh, we can do that.
Oh.
But the path itself is long. That's kind of the issue. All right, so this way we can definitely do it. Okay, I'm just going to copy here. Internal storage DCIM slash camera slash 2019 0401, and then the time is 122534.mp4. Okay, and then we'll try again. So this time we don't need to record because the file's already there. We're just trying to find out what kind of path. So the name of the image provided back is only good for the internal playback, but it's not good for sharing. Okay. And switch back to here. Reinstall. Alright. So we just click share. And it still says it cannot be found. And it automatically appended, the file : // So
Apps and stuff are always tricky.
yeah, especially with Android stuff.
Try escaping the space.
Yep, that would be a good thing to do. I'm just going back to the description here. So the file is with 3 slashes. Okay, and there's no space in it. Okay, let me try it again. So it does have 3 slashes. Okay, so next thing to try is to escape the space. Okay, so to escape a space in Linux, you basically precede the space itself with a backslash. So \space translates to just a single space. And I'm just going to double check and make sure I didn't misspell anything. So internal \space storage / DCIM / camera / 2019-0401. Okay, let me move the block here. 122534.mp4. Okay, try again. Maybe the app itself does not have access to that folder. Maybe it made a copy, so there's one internal one and there's one that is over at that folder. The problem is App Inventor does not quite document what it does with the image file.
Is there another event we can call in the file, like to try something else that's not sharing, to see if we can even find it via the app, you know what I mean?
Let me see if there's a file manager type of app. Okay, but we'll try this first. Share. Nope, doesn't work. Okay. Alright, so now we want to see if there's a file manager of some kind. And if there's any, it's probably under Samsung. My Files. And then we want to look into internal storage, DCIM, camera, and then we found our files. So 122534 is the correct name. Okay, so we got that. So next question is, can we find out where is the app-specific location? That may not be doable because it might be protected, so I cannot access it. So let's see. Nope. Oh, okay. It does seem to let me do a good portion of this. So we want to find out whether we can see the app that we have just installed. Nope. So this one does allow you to access the app-specific areas. It's just that our app that got installed is not on this list. Okay. We tried out Android.
See if there's any other files in that. Find another video file or another file, another path.
Uh-huh.
You know, eventually to put that hard coded in there to make sure. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's try this way. So what I'm doing is I'm just running a shell, remotely on the Android device. So we'll take a look at what is in this root folder. And in the root folder, we should be able to find internal storage. And it is not here. So what it shows me is different from what is actually here. Okay, so we'll look at mount. So we have slash data media. These are showing me the mount points, so we can. This goes a little bit beyond what this class originally was intended to do. But since we need to find out what is the proper way to.
It's pretty cool because it shows how to debug for the phone.
Okay, nope, wouldn't let me do it. Okay, so we got back to here, and now we can say, let's see. Okay, it does have find. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we found the files, and the files are located at DCIM camera. So that part is okay, but the path apparently needs to precede with a storage, self, and then primary. Which is okay. We can just put it there. Okay, storage, self, primary.
But you're saying too, like get clip name should have worked, and so you wouldn't have to do any of this, right?
Yep. And that should be it. Storage, self, primary, DCIM, camera. Yep. Okay. And then the file name. Yep. Okay. And we just want to click on this, make sure that it does have the file. Okay. Let's build it again. Yeah, this certainly is not convenient. It takes a Linux administrator to find out how to specify that file. Not if you're with a state working on mainframes. Because in that case, they want you to learn about ZOS. That's kind of that's a IBM proprietary layer on top of Linux.
What is? Say that again.
ZOS. Yep. Okay. Okay. So we found this location, and then we'll reinstall the app. Switch back to this view, and try again. Share. Yay! Okay, so I can share it to my drive. I don't have YouTube installed here. If I had, I should be able to share via YouTube as well. So what I'll do is I'm just going to share to my drive. Okay. And this is my work folder. Cool. And it's uploading stuff. Okay. Okay, let me see what video enhancer upload was successful. Very good. So I probably uploaded to the root of that folder. So we'll check it out. All right. So it's lost real sign in to Google Drive, and it's probably along here somewhere. The file name is still based on. We can look at activities. Nope. Wait. Yep, I'm using the right one. Did you guys remember where it uploaded to? Like the folder name? Okay, let me do it one more time then. It uploaded to my drive. So we should be able to see it from here. Okay, maybe I'll just refresh Control R. And it's reverse sorted now. No, that's not it. That's just a spreadsheet. Okay, recent. There we go. Nope, these are the most recently accessed files. Okay, I'm just checking. Okay, so I can put it into a particular folder. So let's see if I can put it into my share folder. Okay, quick select, save. That seems way too fast for a video file. Okay, let's do it one more time. It's under shared. And we're not seeing it. Well, let's see if I can. Okay, we'll share, but this time it won't let me choose any other way to share either. Okay, so back all the way out, go back in, go to share again, and this is the only way it will let me share. It would not let me, share using like Gmail or other means. That is not good. Okay. Server error. Okay, there we go. So no, that's Google Play Music. It has nothing to do with what we're trying to do. Nope. Well, it said it was successful. Oh, it must have uploaded to some other place. Okay, fine. So we'll do this. We'll specifically, specify a file to upload, like so. And so it takes a little bit of time to upload 50 megabytes. And last time it was like that, right? So that doesn't make sense. Oh, you guys couldn't see my. Yeah, there you go. See how slow it was uploading? Yeah. So I'm using Wi-Fi, and it's streaming to YouTube at the same time, so I'm actually using a lot of bandwidth.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think the Wi-Fi here likes uploading. It's pretty.
Okay, so now it's uploaded, and let's see. It's uploaded to. Does it tell you where it's uploaded to? If I select move. Okay, so it's probably the root. Or if I look into recent, I should find it now. Nope. Where's my stuff? Yeah, I suppose I can search for today's date, right? 2019 0401. There we go. Okay, so you cannot open the video file directly, but at least it's there. Whereas when I use the app to do it, it wasn't doing it. Okay.
What is connect more apps?
You can get the third-party stuff, so they can either open or convert, a file of the extension that we're dealing with. Okay, so So we managed to upload the file without being, without the app complaining about it, like not being able to find the file, but it still would not open it. So that's kind of the mysterious part is, why is it not opening it? And also the uploading part, did not work, even though the file was found. But when we click, the link to it, it got it done, but it's so fast that it cannot possibly be actually doing it. So when I click, share, it gives me the same thing, and I can specify a folder. I mean, I can specify a folder all I want, but when I say, select and click save, it thinks it's done already. But there's no way it can be done, that quickly.
Or maybe just because it's doing it in the background.
We'll do one more thing, because I'm not sure this app actually has access to that folder, to read the file in that folder. So we'll go ahead and have one more button to play that video, to make sure that we can actually play it off that same path. This is fun. This is discovering, what things can be done, and if it can be done, how it is supposed to be done when the documentation doesn't quite say, which way. Okay. So we go to the third button, hook up, click, and then we just play the video. So we'll duplicate this block, get rid of that, and copy the file name that we already have here. Stash it here. And then, we have to click on video player and have it to start the player. There we go. Alright, there we go. So we're basically diagnosing the problem, trying to diagnose the problem step by step. So we're just, right now we're double checking to make sure that the app actually does have access to the file. Not just to confirm that the file does exist, but we have access to the content of the file. I'm not going to bore you guys with file permission stuff in Linux. Yeah, but that's a whole different class. Linux commands and file permission stuff, that's a whole different class. Linux?
Yeah. Is it an operating system?
It is an operating system that has resemblance to Unix. Aha! So it cannot load it. So that's why, so this is why it is not uploading it either. It's because, even though the file was unable to load, but it's not complaining that we cannot find the file. It's just it cannot load it. And that's because this application has not been granted permission to access the media folder. That is the reason. So here comes the next question. How do we get this application to have to trigger that permission granting thing? Because so we learned from the previous class when we play with GPS, there was one particular block event handler that specifically trigger the app when it's installed, or when it when you click on something, that it will say, okay, are you sure that you want to allow this app to have permission to blah blah blah? And we were never asked about that when we installed this app. So that means the app has no access to that folder. Okay, so let's look into video player and see what blocks can potentially do that. Maybe complete it. Because last time it was when status changed on the GPS, which was something that was not mandatory to be intercepted. You never know for sure. Okay, so we'll say when it's completed. And what else do we have here? Camcorder only has after recording. We captured that one already. And sharing has no event handlers. Okay, so I think we're good here. Okay, when it's completed, we don't really care. We're just including the block so that we're attempting to have Android App Inventor to generate the code necessary to ask the Android operating system to say, okay, do you want to access the media folder? That's what we are trying to trigger. Okay. So what is the weather of Pittsburgh right now?
It's a little bit. It's close to the same actually, just a
Oh.
little bit colder, like 5 degrees colder.
Oh, so not bad.
It's not bad right now. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been tracking it.
You talking about Pittsburgh, California?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
The other end of the country.
Mm-hmm. I just looked at it on the map the other day. My geography is so bad.
All right, so we'll click play again. Nope, still doesn't like it. It didn't ask me for the permission stuff. Okay, so we'll take a video. Okay. So it has to be able to access that folder by writing to that folder. But it doesn't want to share or, play from the media folder. So that makes me suspect that the app has its own file saved into its own folder, which I don't have access to. Question? Okay, more diagnosis. So the next question is, can we look at the folder where the app is installed?
Are there any parameters that we're missing?
I don't think so. It's really just not allowing me to look at it. Okay, so we look at storage. It has a file thing. So this is a non-visible component for storing and retrieving files. Can it display what is in the folder? That is what I want. Okay, so we'll check it out. Non-visible component for storing and retrieving files uses component to write or read files. The default behavior is to write files to the private data directory associated with your app, which I'm suspecting what the video recorder is doing is putting it into the app-specific area. The companion writes files to SD card app inventor /data for easy debugging. Okay, we can try that. If the file path starts with a slash, then the file is created relative to SD card. Okay. So it does a little bit of mangling with the path, so it's not really just straight out where it is supposed to be. Okay. So I'm just going to scroll down here just to find out what else it can do. But it cannot list what files are in the folder. That is the issue. Okay. So let's go back to here. And then we'll do the shell again. And it said SD card. Oops. App inventor data. Okay. Nope. That's not it. Oh, this is the companion. But we are not using the companion, so that's not where it's going to be stored. Okay, so we go to SD card, and then we go to Android data, and then we'll see if we find anything like the file name, the app that we have installed. No. Nope, doesn't seem to be here. You will see edu.mit.appinventor.something, relative to compared to our app. What? launcher.
I mean, dot app dot launcher.
I don't think that's where it's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. Um, all right. So do we see our app? Nope. All right. Let's find out what is the actual name. See if we can find out what is the actual name of our app as it is installed. So we go to settings, go to applications, and then go.
Take the video, watch it, but not do anything with it because you can't access it.
Right. We should have been able to at least share that, but when we click the share button, and that did not work. Okay, so here's media, storage. See, the storage is only using 9.65 megabytes, so that means it is not really using its own storage for stuff. It is actually storing things into the media folder. We can try to clear, and it doesn't do a single thing. So it's definitely not doing it inside the folder. Okay. DCIM. So we're going to go back to the camera folder, and then we try to look at the permissions of the files. So the permissions of the files have SD card as a group having read-write access to the files. So the app apparently does not have that access, does not have that permission.
What if you took a video,
Mm-hmm.
not through your app, store it, and then get the path for that, try sharing that through your app? Would that work? Just curious. I mean, if you, like, is it because it made the file and I don't know. It seems weird not to have read-write access to the file that you created.
Well, it was able to move the file here, but that may be the doing of the media player.
What's the
or the recorder.
It's giving itself.
Huh?
So you know how it gives it the clip name? What's
Yeah.
the name that it's giving?
Well, we can try again. Yep. So what we'll do this time, we'll put a text box or a label underneath here so that we can change that to the name being saved. So we go back to blocks, and after recording we change the text of label 1 to clip name. So now we can actually at least take a look at what is the name of the clip. All right.
What if it's April Fool's?
Then I'll be relieved.
That's nice. Telling you what it does now and the compiling? That's new, isn't it? Oh, it's just
That's just a block behind it. Yep. All right. Switch back to here. Go to media. Take a video. See, now it asks me, allow media to take pictures. Okay. So, yep. Okay. Record. Stop. and click OK. And we don't see the labels.
Change the size, maybe, of the video, push it off the screen, maybe?
The label is supposed to be right under
Yeah, but
the text.
see
Well, I
what
guess you
settings
could
are up
just
there.
change the screen name, because you still have the screen title.
Yeah, or we can just fix the height of the
Yeah, just
player. So just have it like 50%. Okay.
really doesn't want us to figure out his file name.
The more reason I'm gonna go try to figure it
I
out.
know, right? It's a challenge now.
Well, we get to see how they develop. That's an important skill.
When the tool itself is not well documented, right?
It's important to know how to debug.
I need to get out of here. Okay. Oh, the video is gonna look. Doesn't really matter because we are not. Okay, stop. Click OK. All right. So that is. Oh, you guys cannot see it. There we go. So according to this, the video is media
External.
external, and it has a content too. So it has a content : /
Very
and then
different than what we were doing.
yep. So it's a 92, as a.
So try that. Why can't we try that?
I think we tried that, right?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, we did try that. Because it doesn't even indicate the type of the media. But what we can do is to find 92. See if 92 is around when we use the shell command. Okay. Content media. Okay, so media is definitely not here. So we have to at least get here. And then is there a media file here? Nope. Android media. Nope, that's just Google Talk. It has got ringtones and notifications and stuff, but that's not.
I think that external thing is key though.
Well, we'll find the file name 92. It's not here. These are all the things that contains the file name 92 or has permission denied. Most are permission denied. Okay, so we want to redirect the I need to redirect all the standard error. This is really, not related to this. Okay. Okay, it's 2, not 1. Okay. There we go. Nope, those are only the process IDs. So we are not talking about process ID here. Nope, there's no file that we can find with 92. So it has to be specific to the app itself. Somewhere. Okay, so we are running out of time. I'm going to spend some of my own time to try to figure this out. Because it doesn't make sense, right? I mean, if you can record video, you can play in the app, and then it doesn't let you share that, okay, using any means. That doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna have to.
It really doesn't make sense.
And it's weird because it'll let you play it with this name, 92, instead of...
Right. So, but remember, it is preceded with content. So when we were able to play it, Oh, okay. I think that record screen is crapped out. No, it's still here. Where is that? Okay. Oh, I just missed it. There we go. So when we were playing it, we were giving it this entire path. So App Inventor itself must be renaming or mapping it to something else, but I have no idea how it's remapping this particular URL.
Even if it is, why is it making it like so that unaccessible to itself that can't be shared, right?
Right.
Regardless if it's a mapping or whatever it's doing, it should.
It's not self-consistent. Yep. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna end today's lecture at this point. So it's not quite working entirely. We got some stuff working, but not entirely.
Good exercise, though, because it shows how to debug this system. I wondered about that. How do you debug?
Well, it's not done yet. I still need to spend some more time with it. Yep. Alrighty. I'm gonna stop the recorder.